Tom Osborne is a great football coach, the second winningest coach of all time. And just listen to this. His teams have finished in the top 10 every year he's been the head coach. The first national championship is always the hardest. He's got a legitimate chance today to win because he can control his own destiny. A win today and a win against Penn State, he could be the national champions. This is what his team and his fans and everybody want to give him.
Let's talk about Oklahoma's freshman quarterback, Tramel Holloway. I would guess, would you not, that Nebraska will sell out and try to get to him in the first quarter, probably the first 5 minutes, or at least the first possession may be the most important.
Well, Holloway's been successful, Keith, against the softest part of the Oklahoma schedule. But we can expect the defense of Nebraska to give him a little bit different look, a faster pace, quicker, and this is something he hadn't seen. I would expect Nebraska to jump him, jolt him, harass him, and confuse him, and try to destroy that confidence that he has right now.
Of course, in the Nebraska quarterback situation is not exactly a monument of confidence either.
Keith, I cannot believe we're in this situation with such quality teams. Nebraska's had 495 yards total offense without an experienced quarterback. And what we may see today, get this, fans, is another 18-year-old quarterback that hasn't played much football may come into this ballgame. The 18-year-olds have already taken over this country. Now they're taking over college football.
They haven't figured out how hard it is yet. Wait till they get to be juniors and seniors. You've got it all. You've got tradition. You've got longevity. You've got utmost quality. So what's left? Let's put it on the tee. The Sooners will start at the 20 with this young man we've talked about so much. At the quarterback spot, Lydell Carr will open at fullback. Good, solid sophomore player. Anthony Stafford, a freshman, 165 pounds. And Patrick Collins, a sophomore, at 185 pounds. Derek Shepard will be the split end. Handles a first snap all right. Keeps it going down the line and will lose about 3 yards as Chris Spockman, 6'5", 250 for Nebraska, jumps in. Keith Jackson's a tight end, the big play man for the Sooners. Pope at tackle weighs 265. Hudson at guard weighs 280. Simpson at center weighs 265. Ferrer, the other guard, weighs in at 260. And Anthony Phillips is at 275, and he had been playing guard. Up third down and 9 as Nebraska sends Tucker, Spockman, Noonan, Scow, Reeves, Knox, and Parsons out there, the down linemen and backers, with Davis, Watkins, Washington, and Carr in the secondary. Third down and 9 from its 21. Right it to the fullback, pull it out of its belly. Holloway keeps it, comes up to the 29-yard line. He's a yard short of his first down, and Frank, I would say he has been baptized and survived.
He sure did.
Schnitzler pulls it down. The quarterback is McCathern Clayton. He is basically a running quarterback for the Huskers. Doug Dubose, one of the best in the country at tailback for them. And Tom Rathman has become quite a story at fullback. He's big and he's very quick. Roger Lindstrom is the wingback. See him on that counter before the day is over. And Rob Schnitzler is the big play man. And a power football team. It's a team that plays almost like it's playing single wing football. And they open up with a forward pass, and it's good to Schnitzler. And it's good for a first down at the Oklahoma 47-yard line. Pounder from Grand Island slams in there for a good gain. Todd Frayne playing with a sore ankle at tight end. Tim Roth at tackle, 275. Blankenship, the guard, weighs 270. Bill Lewis, the center, big one, 6'6", 275. John McCormick, 6-footer, 250. The other tackle is Tom Welter, 6'4", and 275. Oklahoma, they line up with Reed, Tupper, Casillas, Bryan, and Murphy up front, with Milazzo and Bosworth at the backer spots. Bosworth is the helmet buster. White, Trudup, Brown, Rayburn, the secondary. Big game. Here's Clayton on a roll on 3rd and 7. Throws, and he's lucky to get it back. Tony Rayburn was the man up there, got his hands on it.
They really preferred to run the football.
Dan Wingert is in to do the punting. Derek Shepard is deep for Oklahoma. You don't get much yardage running his punch back. He throws it way up into the air, lets the wind drift it, and it takes a good bounce for Nebraska and is down at the 8-yard line. Now in the backfield for Oklahoma. Tillman, of course, the more experienced of all the backs. They stay inside with Perry, the fullback, out to about the 12. Sedina.
Congratulations to Hayden Fry, my good friend.
Second down and 7. Here goes Keith Jackson, the tight end, on a reverse. Gets a block on the corner and breaks into the open. It's now a foot race. He's got an open field in front of him. He's running out of gas. He scores!
Yesterday. They said they had a trick play coming in. Keith Jackson was a great runner in high school, played safety man, returned punts, has tremendous speed. Nebraska was not looking for it. Oklahoma had never run the end-around play before it. Surprise, and it worked. 88 yards for the touchdown. Sometimes work, sometimes they don't. The fake of the triple option and the tight end blocks and then comes back to the other side deep, 240 pounds, good blocking, kind of like a punt return. The wide receiver, Morris, number 84, makes a good block. We'll show you that a little bit later.
Here's the key one.
But you can see the backs. That's number 20, Spencer Tillman, screening off the final defender, and Jackson, the tight end, scores with the ball.
88 yards.
Watch the fake, and the fake to the fullback to the left. And all the time, the offensive linemen are going to go around and form a wall of blockers. Now when we pick up Jackson again, watch the red shirts over here. They've got outside position, and they set up the wall, letting Jackson, number 88, go right down the boundary. Good blocking. The timing was perfect. I don't ever remember seeing a surprise play work so beautifully this early in the football game. That's a stunner, Keith. That's a stunner. That just startles you. It takes your wind out of you. Nebraska's going to have great leadership, a lot of character to come back now for the next 2 or 3 series. And
the option a lot. Down the line he goes. Outside pitch to Dubose. Dubose slips by the cover man and gets a first down as he gets up to about the 32, 33-yard line.
Is Doug Dubose. There are his numbers. Outstanding because he not only has quickness and speed, but he's tough and he can run over people when he has to.
Defense at Oklahoma? Well, the coach says this about this bunch.
We are an excellent defensive football team. There's no question. We have 3 players that are good at, are probably the best players that have ever played that position in Oklahoma. Murphy at the end, Casillas at nose guard, and Bosworth at linebacker. So we're an excellent front. We've had some problems in the secondary, but they're mature, they're older, and they're better now. So we've improved there too.
37-yard line. Clayton fakes it twice, keeps it, now pitches it outside. It's a high pitch. Dubose does well to pull it down, and then Dubose is brought down by David Vickers just over the 40. Clayton goes the other way this time, keeps it, turns into traffic, and will get a yard out of the play as the Sooner defense is so quick to react. Dante Jones, a sophomore out of Dallas, got that hit. Poor field position, but the last time they blew the big one for 88 yards.
Look at these team stats, Keith. I'm purely amazed. These teams are great, or they hadn't played a tough schedule, a combination of both. Look at they're rated 1, 2 in the top 10, or 3 in the top 10 in every category. Rushing offense, rushing defense, everything. They've got great speed on offense at Oklahoma, and the key for Nebraska in this ball game is can they slow that speed down.
Spencer Tillman is back in the backfield. He's been known to throw a halfback pass, but Holloway's going to throw it instead down the middle for Jackson. He's got it, and he's down at the Nebraska 46-yard line, and if Holloway had given him the ball sooner, he would have scored again.
19, you can see him right up there. He's coming up to support the running play, and when he does, you see that Jackson gets in behind him, but the wind held the ball up.
In for Tillman now on 3rd down and 7. Holloway going down the line with it. Keeps it. Turns upfield. First down. Breaks loose. They score. Touchdown. So much for freshman Jim.
Here's the option play. This is the speed we talked about earlier, God-given talent, and then he has the awareness to just split the would-be defenders, and he has the speed we've already talked about, the quickness, everything it takes to be a wishbone quarterback, and he just trots into the end zone. He's going to be our quarterback for 4 years.
28 now. Let's see what the Huskers, see if they can get something going here. They give the ball to Rathman, and Tom never really has a chance. He has been very effective this year. That little fullback trap with a backdoor play. He takes a lot of double team. That frees one of the backers. Here's the pitch back to DuBose, who fakes the forward pass, holds it down, starts running, and gets it to the 30. Here's Tim Brandt for a moment. He's another freshman. May get to see some action today. Quick pop by Clayton. Good to Schnitzler. He's going to break a big play out of it and go across midfield as he gets to the Oklahoma 49, where Liddell Glenn brings him down. Clayton turns around, flips the ball back. DuBose makes a one-handed reception of it and runs the ball inside the 44. Well, that old one down the southwest is going to have some meaning for a change, isn't it? Ball is given to fullback Rathman on 2nd down and 4, and Tom fights his way close to the 40-yard line. 3rd down, 1.5 yards for the Huskers. They go to DuBose. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Never had a chance. I mean, there were 4 red shirts coming after him, but number 44 was the first one. That's Brian Bosworth, the 235-pound sophomore linebacker.
There, Switzer says that Byron Bosworth's the greatest linebacker ever to play for Oklahoma. Here's a good illustration why he would make that statement. He's a gambler in that he fires when he sees a chance, and he comes right through and tackles DuBose for the loss. It's over a 3-point average.
Punt by Wingard. High hanger. Huskers down there. They should be able to kill it. The man covering it was Schnitzler, and he rolled into the end zone, but they give him a spot at the 2. Penalty flag, the first one of the ball game, as Spencer Tillman carries and is very close to a first down.
Yeah, he encroached and he leaned into the inside. Number 96, right here, the right of your screen. You can see he's trying to move into that big old gap between the tackle and guard. He wanted to get across there. And when he
carries the fullback, but Holloway, the quarterback, keeps it. Slides right over the left side behind Simpson and Hudson, and he's got the first down. Jamel Holloway. The ball this time is carried by Spencer Tillman, and Tillman gets good yardage out close to the 18-yard line. Tillman. Alabama, depending on what happens when this day is done.
Keep coming in this ball game. We worried about the Nebraska defense having the speed to contain this Oklahoma offense. Houston moving 4 people out.
2nd down and 4, and the ball is already gone as the hit's made on the quarterback. It's Leon Perry with a big hole over the right side. And he's all the way down to the 46th of Nebraska.
A formation, and you can see it's just leaving Nebraska short-handed inside. He hands off to the fullback, and he goes into the secondary. Nobody there. Finally, Carr comes across and makes the tackle.
That'd be a wide-open field. Oklahoma's running now. Total 204 yards, and the quarter isn't over yet. Fumble, I think, and it is Nebraska coming up with the ball. Greg Reed, defensive end number 84.
He can go outside.
So the Cornhuskers now trying to cash in this opportunity. As Clayton drops back to throw on 1st down and loops it. It'll be intercepted. It is caught on the fly by Liddell Glenn. All he had to do was just sit there and wait for it. It was a wounded goose. It was far, far over the head of Vaughn Shepard, the intended receiver.
Fake up the middle, trying to get the Oklahoma defensive backs to fight. So why should they fight? Nebraska hadn't made any yards running the ball. Why come up, lay back? And he does. Gets to the ball. Very poorly thrown.
Just outside the 31. So right back to the fullback. Ball got away from him the last time. Confidence builder here. Give it a Carr, and Carr slams in. Down 4 now as we go to the 2nd quarter. Oklahoma's ball at their own 37, leading 14-0. Ball goes again to the fullback Carr. And he's close to the first down.
Oklahoma has already doubled that, more than doubled it in the first quarter.
And it's first down from the 42. Holloway going down the line, turns it up to the 45. 3 yards on the carry.
Referee is supposed to see it.
Second down and 7. Holloway under some heat. And slides away from 2 people, but will take a sack back inside the 40 to about the 37.
This young man has made 48 tackles this year, and get this, 36 or 35 of them have been for a loss, and here's a good reason why. He will not stay blocked. You get your headgear on him, but he pushes right off. Scow flushed him out of the pocket, and it looks like Smith, number 92, came over and made the tackle.
Neil Smith is just a sophomore out of New Orleans and is coming off the field now as when he went down, twisted his leg. So Neil hobbling a bit.
Been a great passing team, although we've had games where we've thrown the ball fairly well, and I think it's going to be important that we be able to run some. You know, if they just shut down our running game totally, we'll be in a lot of trouble.
There have been 8 runs by DuBose, 4 others, including Rathman, and there have been 4 passes, and they are sports. And Clayton stays in at quarterback, hands the ball off to the I-back, Doug DuBose, and Doug gets it up across the 30-yard line. The 2, they run that a lot. The wing-back reverse. Got a backdoor with Rathman. This has been the kind of a play that he has been so successful with, and he's successful again. He's got a first down at the 41.
Keep the play. Just turn around, hand it off. Good blocking by Roth, 65. And then you see the power of Rathman. He runs right over Bosworth. There's the collision I was looking for. See what happened. Rathman and Bosworth.
One to Tom. This is DuBose. This time Bosworth didn't miss. He had a little help from Tony Rayburn, but it was Bosworth that had his helmet on the numbers. 15-0, but there is certainly no panic. This is DuBose. Here comes your reverse. It is Shepard. On Shepard. Big play. Gone now. It's a foot race to the corner. He's out of bounds. Out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
Would you believe another trick play? Pitch the ball back to DuBose. He hands it. Now watch the blocking. The same kind of play that the end of the round was. You have a wall of blockers, and Clayton, the quarterback, is right out there. Let's see what he does. And Shepard is their big play artist. Tremendous speed and running ability. 52 yards for Nebraska.
Because that one official was tied up trying to catch up. This is Clayton spinning inside, and he gets almost nothing out of it as Tony Casillas closes the door. Down and go, ball still at the 6. Clayton rolls it out. Fake the pass. Sacked by Kevin Murphy, number 39. They want to throw it to him. They put it in the corner of the end zone, and it is incomplete, defended by Liddell Glenn. So Glenn comes up with his second big play of the game.
He's guard if you don't make any contact with the receiver. As long as you don't make contact, Glenn, number 7, is right there. Now, if he makes contact in that fashion in any way, then it's interference. But the ball would have been out of the end zone if it had been completed.
I think so now. We have seen it. 23-yard field goal try by Dale Klein. He kicked 7 against Missouri, a game Nebraska won 28-21, and he missed this one wide right. He tried to hook it back in from the angle on the left side and didn't get it to pull back. So they're shut out on the drive. Was a penalty on that previous reception of the punt, moving the ball out to a little better field position, and Nebraska going to its muscle has the ball out to the 31 as Doug DuBose runs straight ahead. Those votes are to be made shortly. Second down and 3. DuBose keeps it. They ran that same formation with the same movement where they had the reverse by Shepard for 52 yards. This time DuBose kept it, and Casillas and Bosworth messed it up. 3. Clayton down the line, going around the corner, has a first down as he gets up to about the 35, and again Bosworth reaching over the top on Clayton's run. Clayton coming down, gets good block on the corner, cuts it back inside, and he is just short of midfield, and McCathern has another first down. He's a sophomore from Orlando, Florida. First down. Pitch out is bad. Gets a good bounce up into the arms of Doug DuBose. But by that time, the Oklahoma defense is all over him back at the 39-yard line of Nebraska.
When a quarterback is running the option play and he's under duress, I always said, hey, don't pitch it. Right there, he pitches the ball way out in front. He didn't take the ball to Murphy, the defensive end, and Murphy could just play both of them right there. He could play the quarterback and the pitch man. That was a bad play on the quarterback's part.
Clayton, very, very good protection. Now throws it deep, and he's got a man down there, and a great play by Sonny Brown in front of Rod Smith. 6 in his passing for 37 yards, intercepted once. Trying to set up a screen pass, but he has absolutely buried Kevin Murphy, and Dante Jones were flying in on top of him. And second down, 6. Ball squirted out from under the quarterback of Oklahoma that time, Holloway, and guess who's in there? It's third down and 7 for the Sooners now. Here comes Jackson on that tight end reverse, and he's got it big again. He's out of bounds. He's out of bounds at the 25, just short of the 25. It's a first down for the Sooners.
Hiding everybody.
It's second down and 9 at the Husker 24 for the Sooners. Holloway gets away. Outside the pitch goes. That's Stafford. And Stafford is down at the 21.
And into the fullback. Yep.
Carr rolling over the top. And there was absolutely nothing there. The only
First quarter.
Tim Lesher, 37-yard field goal try out of Sonny Brown's hold. Plenty of leg. And good. With 1 minute and 18 seconds to play in the first half. Oklahoma 17, Nebraska nothing. With the Sooners dominating 17-0.
Practice all week long. It was a big play. Keith Jackson's a great player, great tight end. Hard to believe our leading rusher's a tight end today so far. Our defense has played well, and there's a great play down here on the goal line for our defensive back to knock him out, because we got a great defense and has a great goal line series.
You know, when you talk about a big game like this coming in, you've got to think it's the big play that'll win it. I mean, and that's been the case thus far in this game.
Well, we have, and Jameel Holloway made big play. Keith Jackson, a couple big plays, and defense has played sound. We've given a little much in the rushing game a couple times, but basically it's been pretty good play.
All right, Barry, good luck in the second half. All right, so it has been speed, surprise, and talent. The Sooners lead it 17.
Rushers at halftime. For Oklahoma, a tight end, and for Nebraska, a wingback.
The reason the surprise plays, Keith, I think Nebraska was so shocked by that tight end reverse by Keith Jackson. Beautifully executed by them, and with a great talent at tight end, it has tremendous speed to pull it off. Nebraska's going to have a tough time. They're not a catch-up type football team. They haven't been all year. They've got to just stick to their knitting, I guess, and try to loosen up a little bit and hope that Oklahoma will turn the ball over.
Let's take a look at the Jackson run that started the festivities, because Oklahoma had started out basically with poor field position, and then boom.
This drive started, I think, from the 1-yard line. They made a first down, and the punt return effect. When you run a deep reverse, you look at the red shirts over there, the blockers that are leading the play. I think it's Spencer Tillman right there, number 20, making the key play, and the wide receiver had blocked Carl just enough to allow Jackson to go all the way 88 yards.
Now a diagram of the second Oklahoma touchdown. This is the way it looks when you put it in the book and put it on the blackboard and put it on the fancy computer. But this is what it looks like now when everybody does what they're supposed to, especially the men carrying the ball, Jameel Holloway.
Keith, this is the triple option. The first leg of it, the fake to the fullback. Now, the quarterback has the option to leave it with the fullback, but the tackle closes. Boom, he hits Carr. And then the second part of the option is the quarterback pitching to keep it. And Holloway makes 6 people, I think we counted, 1, 2, miss right there. Let's see if there's anybody else. But the speed right there, the third man, at least 3 people right there missed him. Good blocking, the 4th man right there. Just sensational run by the freshman Jamel Holloway.
He did sprain his big toe on his left foot, however, on that particular play. Nebraska's big play was this. A wingback reverse. Dubose with the ball, gives to Vaughn Shepard. He runs for 52 yards, but Sonny Brown will get him out of bounds at the 6. Nebraska then tried 3 plays, and one of them, a third down pass, was batted aside, and Dale Klein then missed a 23-yard field goal try, and that's where we are, 17-0 at halftime. A capacity crowd. The weather is still hanging on. It is still dry, and we hope it stays that way.
The reverse is pretty well played first half defensively. What do you do now to stop that option?
Well, the reverse just killed us, and we had a couple plays, and there were big plays, and we didn't get the ball in the end zone. We think the score is a little deceiving, but Oklahoma's played very well, and we hope we can come back and play our kind of game and make a ball game out of it, and we hope we can win the ball game. That may sound like a lot right now. We think we can. We'll see what we get done.
2 quick questions. First of all, how important is it to score early in this period, and will you play the freshman quarterback?
Well, we're gonna try to score early, and we'll see what happens on the quarterbacks. We'll just have to see what happens.
All right.
Go to work. The defense of Oklahoma, Darrell Reed, 210-pound defensive end, almost a linebacker, really. Jeff Tupper, big, 275, 6'5". Casillas, about 277, he said yesterday. Steve Bryant, 255, the other tackle, and Kevin Murphy, the other end at 230 pounds. Paul Migliazzo at 220, and Brian Bosworth at 235. Doing. The secondary is Derek White at cornerback for Oklahoma. The other corner is Derek Crudup, sophomore and a freshman. And the safety people are Sonny Brown, a junior, and he's a dandy. And the other free safety is a 6'3", 195 hitter. Defensive unit for Nebraska, the same group that started: Clayton, DeBose, Rathman, Shepard, Schnitzler, and the big guys up front who have not been able to give much daylight to the running backs.
Here's Casillas, number 92. Louis, the center, gets a pretty good block on him, but watch him use his hands. And then finally leaps over and makes the play.
So from just outside the 25, it's 3rd down and 6. McCathern Clayton pulls it down, and he was pulled down in turn by Jeff Tupper, a redshirt senior from Joplin, Missouri, of Oklahoma, and the halftime stats.
Here the halftime stats. Nebraska made some yards. 162 isn't bad if they'd got some points when they got close, but Oklahoma, with their big plays, 297 yards total offense.
To 215 from Enid. Scott Tucker is the defensive end for Nebraska, 220. Chris Spockman, 250-pound tackle. Danny Noonan, the nose guard, 275. Look at that thick neck. And Big Jim Scow, 6'3", 250. Greg Reeves, the other defensive end, 225. Mike Knox, a linebacker, 235. And Kevin Parsons at 230. In their defensive end. Brian Davis is a cornerback, number 32, 195. Mike Carl at the other corner, 5'11" and 180. The safeties, Brian Washington, started as a freshman at strong safety, and the free safety is Chris Carr. The offensive alignment, the same that started the game. Leading rushers, Nebraska Shepard, 52, and Oklahoma Jackson with 117. Holloway gives the ball away, and here's the first down as Lydell Carr carries 3 successive times and moves the ball to the 42, where it's first down Sooners. 10-0 as Holloway turns around and goes down the line, carrying the ball like a loaf of bread, and picks up 12, 15, 17, 18 yards. He goes all the way down to the almost to the Nebraska 40. This side of the field, and a first down Oklahoma. Holloway still got it. And now is thrown down at about the 33 of Nebraska, and he was a half a step from shaking that tackler, Brian Davis, and going away. He couldn't get it in the end zone and missed the field goal. It's 2nd down and 2. Holloway gaining confidence with every snap of the ball. Breaks it inside the 20. He's out of bounds near the 17. Neil Holloway in the wishbone offense.
It's not very difficult for a young man to hand the ball off to an I-back 40 times a game, but for you to 40 times a ball game to be involved in triple option reads, an inside read, an outside read, and execute physically with a fullback within a split-second decisions and judgment by a freshman is truly remarkable. We recruited him. We thought he was going to be that kind of player, Keith. He was an excellent high school quarterback from an excellent program.
Well, I'm sure Chris Ferragamo's happy to hear that. And certainly there's a lot of truth in it because Chris has produced a lot of them.
Unbalanced line, Keith, for Oklahoma, first down.
And 3rd down and 9 as Holloway rolls it, runs a hump a little bit, and then whips it into the end zone, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Lee Morris, number 84.
Kicking tee, which I think is just too easy for him. I think a lot of people feel that we've got to do something with the field goal problem.
In the 3rd quarter, Sonny Brown to hold it. High snap. Sonny got it down. Lasher hit it square, and it is good. So the Sooners build the lead to 20-0 over old rival Nebraska. Since last week, he has played in the freshman season, handed that ball to Tom Rathman. And Rathman got it out near the 25-yard line.
Keith, I don't believe these 18-year-olds know the pressure, which you've already mentioned. But this is tremendous, being trailing 20-0.
3rd down and 4 for the Cornhuskers. Taylor throwing, whips it, got a man, 1st down. Making the catch on his knees at the 36 is Rob Schnitzler, 80-pounder. Gives the ball to Rathman. Well, you see what happened when they do that. There stands Bosworth, nobody in front of it.
You're right, Keith.
Oh, look out. Got a figure pass. Lindstrom goes in motion. And Taylor gets some heat and goes down. Kevin Murphy. Murphy was blocked for a moment by Tim Roth, but he wouldn't stay blocked. And then
Lower the boom on.
I don't think I'd like to play that.
It takes 2. It takes 2.
Oh, here's a setup on a started a tight end reverse. Keith Jackson with the ball. He was going to throw the thing. Responsibility. Frank Broyles can tell you because he is from Little Rock.
He's a great athlete. He played halfback some in high school, safety man. As Keith said, it was going to be a in-the-round pass, but Nebraska backs were not fooled on the play. But look at the speed of Jackson. 240 pounds rolling right up the middle for the 1st down.
He's liable to make that name famous yet. Here comes Holloway, turning the corner, and thrown out of bounds at the 43-yard line, and they go up and over the bench and whacked around number 69. So it's 2nd down and about a half a yard, and they hand this one off to Spencer Tillman. And it looks like Spencer's getting his health back now as he's showing more quickness today. And he will have a 1st down for the Sooners at the Cornhusker 37. Holloway pitches it back. Spencer Tillman past the yard marker at a 1st down for the Sooners inside the 25.
Keith, this is incredible. I never thought I would see a true freshman quarterback handle all types of option plays as Holloway has done. That
national championship possibility right now looks like it's got Oklahoma red on it. As the ball came loose for a moment, they're scrambling for it. They're calling it down at the 17.
Here's Perry, number 2. If the ball
he's got his hand on it.
If his hand's on the ball, it's the correct call. Nope, I believe the ball came out. The ball was out of his hand.
3rd down and 3. Lydell Carr back in there at fullback. Ball on the Husker 17. And it is Holloway. Touchdown.
Fake it. This is true vintage wishbone right here as Holloway shows his speed. The defensive back has to take the pitch. He outruns all of the pursuit, turns it down the field, and gets to the corner of the touchdown very easily. Now from the end zone, again we see the fake to the fullback. The backs come up and cut off the safety, and of all things, the quarterback circles the tight end's block. Berryhill, number 85, with the key block. And if you
had cross into the neutral zone, Nebraska had called a timeout a while ago because they only had 10 people on the field, and I'm sure they'll decline this and leave the point up on the board, which will be a 27-0 Oklahoma lead. Oklahoma's already run off the field, though Vance Carlson has got now to chase over there and try and see whether or not they want to take the penalty and maybe go for 2.
He's got all the qualities. Look at this stat. Keith Jackson, the tight end, Jamel Holloway have accounted for 305 yards. Jackson is just a sophomore. Holloway is an 18-year-old freshman putting on a show against the number 2 ranked team in America. That's fantastic.
And you got another one sitting over there on the bench, another freshman in there, Eric Mitchell, that a lot of people feel was the best athlete in the state of Arkansas West. And so Nebraska now will one more time come from the 20 and see what they can do about things. But it's quickly getting out of hand. Here's another sophomore, Lorenzo White, that's destined for starter. Frayne, the starting tight end, playing with a very sore ankle, but he has been playing. That's dominance.
Well, Nebraska, yes, Nebraska was the number 1 offensive team rushing, number 2 in total in Oklahoma. Just sensational because of one thing, the execution of the quarterback. That's the critical variable right there.
And it's 3rd down and 5. Steve Taylor dodges one man, but there are others. Oh my goodness, there are others. One of them named Murphy and the other named Jones. Unless you can pass like Vinny Testaverde.
Well, that's a different story. You're right.
Hanging, spinning punt, fair caught and fumbled away, and the ball is loose, rolling on the ground, and the Cornhuskers cover it at the 19-yard line. Mike Heffler, an offensive guard, jumped on the ball that slithered away from Derek Shepard. So finally, we've got a break here, unless we've got a flag, do we?
No, Keith. Nope. They were talking of that. They're still huddling as to whether the receiver had enough room to catch the ball. I think he did right there.
Well, his own people were more in the way than Nebraska folks.
You have to give the safety man 2 yards of room. Let's see what he calls.
We have an inadvertent whistle on a free ball. We replay the down.
The receiver's going to catch the ball, and the umpires and the side judge and the referee and all the officials interpret him or assume that he's going to catch that football. The play is still alive. He blew his whistle thinking that the player was going to make the catch, and it hit the ground. They said a loose ball on a kick like that, there is no option for Nebraska. It is just a kick over. They take it back. And Frank, he said to tell you that he knows the rule. He was emphatic with it, and that when that ball is loose, when they blow that whistle, there is no option. They re-kick it.
Guaranteed.
3rd down and 6, and Holloway is caught behind the line of scrimmage and thrown out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. It says if an official inadvertently sounded the whistle during a kick, the ball becomes dead immediately and the down will be replayed.
And on a play.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, that's different.
Here's the punt out of there by Winchester, and it's a pretty good one. They've handled this win pretty well today. The ball comes all the way out to midfield where Rob Schnitzler steps ahead to the 49 and makes the fair catch. So, Tennessee won big today over Kentucky. Steve Taylor has it. Wants to throw it. Now he's got a convoy on his side of the field. But by now he can't find anybody to throw as people were starting to turn back to help him.
Season.
Second down and call it 4 yards for the Huskers. Taylor zips one. It is intercepted at the 26. Coming up with it, Derek White. Taylor missed his man.
There's a penalty flag down.
Right there. That's it. Second down and still 10. All the way back to throw it. Goes down the middle for Jackson. He got it and dropped it. Had it in his hands, but he went down with 2 Cornhuskers and couldn't pull it in. That's why you're quickie, Tim Brent. Here's Holloway again on 3rd down and 10. Under pursuit. Now he's going to get a little help from one of the officials, too. and tried to turn back up the field. Jim Scow, of all people, Big Jim, is all the way downfield to bring. Now Oklahoma's got to punt it out of the end zone. And it's not very good. It got up in that wind, didn't have much rotation on it, and the wind just spun it right down, and it turns out to be almost a nothing kick, only 16 yards for Winchester. It caught a gust of wind just at the wrong time, and it just knocked it right down. Taylor gets his pass away, wide open. Frayne, and Todd Frayne, the tight end, is down at the Oklahoma 8-yard line. First and goal. They had a first and goal back in the second quarter at the 6. Taylor, the quarterback, keeps it and goes to the 1. All at the 1. Dubose is hit back at the 2. Tony Casillas that time got loose.
Casillas shot the gap that time. Coming shows you how dominant the Oklahoma team has been.
It's third down and goal from the 2. Oklahoma's trying to shut him out. Fumble. Oklahoma claims it. They do have it. Bosworth, I believe, comes out of there with the ball, but Taylor never got away with the ball clean off the snap. It popped up in the air. Everybody was grabbing for it, and I do believe it was Bosworth who claimed it at the 1.
I can't see the other man's number. I guess Williams, Clarence Williams right there, and the center trying to block 2 men. The quarterback trying to get away from those 2 men. Fumble the ball, and I come from behind, I believe, is the best we've ever had in college.
Penalty against Oklahoma makes it third down and long back on the 3-yard line. And they don't get much out of that play, so once again, Winchester's going to have to come out and load his rifle out of the end zone. He's the protector for the punter. Kick is out of there, and it's a much, much, much better kick. He had 16 yards the last time. This time he spins it out to the 47, where Nebraska will have it.
And there's been some Heisman Trophy players in there, too.
Yes, total of 5 of them. Long pass is complete downfield to Liddell Green. Liddell Green's second interception of the day. Glenn is just hanging on the sidelines, and it looked for all the world.
Why you said completion, but he did. Clayton hits him right on the numbers. Watch this. Watch this. Couldn't have been thrown better to him. Right there, Glenn. And another reason why, watch what happens to the quarterback. Pressure on the quarterback. There's Lewis, number 68, trying to block Casillas. But here's the play right here. As Clayton throws the ball,
the receiver falls down and is totally gone if McCathern turned around.
Nebraska got a little penetration right over that mesh point. Caused the fumble. Keith, here's what the top 10 did today
in the coaches poll. UPI.
Auburn plays next week. We'll get a chance to see Bo Jackson in his run, and hopefully for the Heisman Trophy. He's still a candidate, obviously. Still think the race is wide open, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Sure. Second down and 12 now, as Mitchell goes down the line on the option and keeps it, and is ridden down by Chris Spuckman. Again, Jim.
Keith, here's an interesting story we haven't touched on since early in the season. Howard Schnellenberger's first season at Louisville ended today. The 45-21 loss to 1AA Eastern Kentucky left Schnellenberger's team at 2-9 in his last 3 years at Miami. His team's only lost a total of 7 games. And, of course, the rumors are swirling again. Philadelphia Eagles, Pittsburgh Panthers. In Pittsburgh, Schnellenberger says no. He's staying put in Louisville.
For the Oklahoma Sooners. This time Mitchell comes this way with it. Bounces off Jim Scow and goes the other way with blocking. He'll have a first down up at the 36, where Kevin Parsons finally ran him down. Well, it's 10 degrees chill factor and 34 actual. All he needs to do is take off the shoe. It's cold enough to chill it.
Derek Mitchell was a great scrambler in high school. He was very adept at getting on the open field, and very seldom could one man bring him down.
For the Sooners from their own 36. And the line he goes. Bounces outside and gets up across the 40 to the 41.
And he's been the one responsible for working and training Jamel Holloway and Eric Mitchell.
Mitchell's hard to get a hold of. He's got a first down.
Here it is again. The play's going to the left, but there's nothing there. Nebraska plays perfectly. Washington, number 5, has the jersey, but he can't hold it. Then Mitchell cuts back inside of a couple of Nebraska players, but he couldn't make the play.
It's almost more impressive than the offense, really.
And it's hard to choose, but I'd like to have both.
You're right. 3rd down and 10. And Mitchell is caught and thrown down as he crosses midfield. At 2:40 to go.
See Bo Jackson again, who I think is one of the great runners of all time in college football.
The kick is away by Mike Winchester, and not a particularly good one, but he gets a very good roll on it. And the Sooners are happy to see it roll dead at the 3. Comes into the ball game for Nebraska, so Travis Turner got one shot at it with the gimmick play, and the ball is given to Keith Jones, and Jones trying, as they were everybody faking pass and trying to show it. It's the Truman administration. 1951, and they still haven't. They lost today. Here's Turner back in the game, and almost sacked in the end zone, is intercepted and then dropped. Oh my goodness, Scott Garl had the ball right in his tummy. First down for Oklahoma at the 40. Eric Mitchell stays in there at quarterback. Fully capable of breaking one, and here he goes. Shoved out of bounds at the 19.
Nebraska tailbacks, Chief. Dubose has 45 yards. Jones 6, Miles nothing. Here's the speed and quickness of this young man. A little move right there, and the safety man, Siebler, misses him. Totally had a good shot at him, a good fake. Mitchell goes down, steps out of bounds right there.
Oh, it's first down and 15 after the penalty. And that's ball is loose and picked up by a Nebraska man fumbling down the sidelines. Who is Chris Bachman, of all people, and Big Chris ambles on into the end zone.
It's a touchdown, Keith.
And it's going to be a touchdown.
He caught it in the air. He took the ball away from the back.
Help going downfield, and all of his offensive line buddies were on the goal line by the time he got there to help him celebrate.
Maloney has the ball right there. Number 96, Scow, knocks the ball out, and number 76 catches it in the air and goes lumbering right down the field. Look at him, put those moves on. All the way 70.
He's on there now, and obviously they're showing onside kick. Oklahoma's expecting it. There it is. The ball is caught in the air by number 37, Todd Smith, the defensive back. And Smith gets it back down inside the 40. And that Nebraska today, winning by a score of 27-7. And the Sooners, if they win their next 2, will certainly be in posture to battle Penn State for a national championship, provided, of course, Penn State can handle Pittsburgh in a game tonight. Crowd flowing down out of the stands.
Barry's trying to work his way over to shake hands with Tom Osmond.
All right, Barry, I know.
Please don't go home.
Congratulations on a great win.
Thank you. It was a great win. We had a lot of things happen good for us. Our coaches did a great job. Our players played well. It was a great effort. But our defense deserved a shutout, and they know it.
I know how upset you were when they ran that ball back just now for that touchdown.
It was. I thought we had a chance. You know, obviously at the half, the way we were playing, to have it. But it's a great win. We've been a great football team today.
I'm going to let you go for your safety. Congratulations.
You're coming with me.
I'll lead you through. All right, Keith.
That's it.